مرحى يا شهر الإيمان، مرحى يا شهر الإيمان. هل هلالك يا رمضان، مرحى يا شهر الإيمان، مرحى يا شهر الإيمان، مرحى يا شهر الإيمان.
Oh my! Subhanallah, Ya Rab, truly you are amazing. Oh, Assalamu alaikum and welcome my explorer friends. I'm Ibn Haytham and this is my marvelous telescope. It's special because it goes back in time and can visit any place you can think of. I sit here night after night admiring Allah's creation. Come, let's take a look and see. Subhanallah! What are all those machines? It must be the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution was a time in history when there was a lot of change. In fact, the world would never be the same again after this time. The way people made things, like pots, pans, wheels, and anything else you can think of, changed forever. People stopped growing and making things on the land, which meant they had to move to the cities to find work. The Industrial Revolution happened in two parts. The first one started in 1760 until somewhere between 1820 and 1840, while the second part was from 1870 until 1914. The first part of the Industrial Revolution was all about making factories and using iron and steel material. The first factory to be made was a silk factory, started by John Loam in 1719, and the factories that followed were making cotton, fabric and spinning frames. This meant that half the number of workers that worked at these factories had to leave their jobs because there was no need for extra people when the machine could do more than they did. Between 1775 and 1779, a machine made by Samuel Crompton combined the spinning and weaving process. It was called the spinning mule. By 1783, people had a way to use iron ore by making it into iron bars with the help of machines. In the early 1800s, people began inventing steam-powered vehicles like boats and trains, and then in 1807, the first passenger steamboat went into business. Steam-powered trains were in production from 1816 to 1830, and the first ever intercity public railway line was built. The second part of the Industrial Revolution involved the use of materials which weren't used as much, such as plastic for production. During this time of the revolution, people began improving what they already had, and in some cases it became safer. In 1851, a person called Elisha Graves Otis made sure that elevators were safe to ride, while in 1866, dynamites and explosives were made. In 1870, in the world of science, Louis Pasteur, a chemist, developed the first ever vaccine. A vaccine is something that is used to stop bad germs and disease from spreading, you see. Vaccines helped millions of people all over the world. However, this wasn't the end, because 6 years later, the telephone was invented. And then, 4 years after that, the first electric light was made. Subhanallah! This was all very exciting news to everyone. In 1903, the first aeroplane was built, and it flew perfectly. In 1908, a car maker called Henry Ford made some cars which were cheaper than others so that more people could afford to buy cars. There was so much going on during this time, and so much of what we use today, like cars, plastic bottles, and planes to visit other countries, is all thanks to the Industrial Revolutions Part 1 and 2. Subhanallah, if the Industrial Revolution never happened, the world we live in would be very, very different indeed. Allah created the gorgeous world and everything in it. It's been said that it's impossible to see the whole world in our lifetime, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't try. I'm going to search for more and more of Allah's wonderful creations within this universe. Until next time, my explorer friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum, dear children, and welcome to your daily fruit news, all about fruits with beautiful colours. Today, I'm going to introduce you to a fruit that is well known for all its goodness, beautiful shape, and colour. People have been eating this fruit for hundreds of years, and it's called the date. Today, we'll look at where dates come from and why they are good for us. Now that we know what's coming up in today's fruit news, we can meet our guest, the date, and he'll tell us a few things about himself. Assalamu alaikum Dahab, welcome to the show.
Walaikum assalam, Basim Banana.
How is the weather where you are?
The weather here is hot and sunny. I love it.
And where are you exactly?
Well, I'm in the Middle East, where the climate is hot.
Wonderful, Dahab. Do tell us about why you're good for us.
I certainly can. Well, I contain a lot of goodness, including minerals and vitamins B1, B2, B3, B5, A and D. B vitamins are so important and they make you feel great too.
Oh wow, you've certainly got me interested now. Tell us more about yourself.
With pleasure. I am very good for helping the liver do its job properly. The liver is an important organ in the body and it cleans the blood before it goes to other parts of the body. I can help you become smarter and even help your eyesight.
Subhanallah, how brilliant you are. Thank you for this information.
No problem. And thank you to all the children for being great listeners.
Yes, thank you to all the lovely children for watching. I'll see you soon with more news. But until then, ma salama.
بتقواها
Sheikh Junaid Baghdadi, a great Sufi master of Iraq, while on a walk with his students, asked them,
Tell me about Bahlul.
He is crazy, O Sheikh. What do you want of him?
Take me to him, for I need him.
His students looked for Bahlul everywhere. And found him in the desert. By the time they brought Sheikh Baghdadi to Bahlul, they were surprised, for he was lying with a brick under his head as a pillow.
Assalamu alaikum.
Who are you?
I am Sheikh Junaid Baghdadi.
The same Sheikh Junaid Baghdadi who gives spiritual advice?
Yes, indeed.
Huh? Do you even know how to eat?
I say Bismillah before eating. I eat what is in front of me. I take small bites, put them on the right side of my mouth, slowly chew. I don't stare at others while eating. I remember Allah while eating. I thank Him for whatever I eat. I wash my hands before and after eating.
You want to be the spiritual teacher of the world, but don't even know how to eat?
He's crazy, O Sheikh. Let him be.
He appears mad, but he seems to be full of knowledge and spiritual insight. I need Bahlul.
Allah, 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 Allah. Who are you?
Sheikh Baghdadi, who doesn't even know how to eat.
Do you know how to talk?
I speak clearly so that the listener can understand. I do not speak too much, as the people would get bored. I call the people towards Allah and His Prophet. I don't speak without purpose or too much. I talk in moderation and to the point.
Forget about eating. You don't even know how to talk.
O Sheikh, you see he's crazy. What would you expect from a lunatic?
I see what you don't see. I need Bahlul. Oh Bahlul,
what do you even want from me? You don't even know how to eat or speak. Do you know how to sleep?
Yes, I know, O Bahlul.
Well, then tell me.
When I am finished with the night prayer, I don my sleepwear. I perform the wudu as I would before prayer. I sleep on my right side with my right palm under my cheek. I recite the supplications and blow onto my palms and do chant the names of Allah until I sleep.
As expected, you don't know how to sleep either.
Oh Bahlul, I don't know anything. So for the sake of Allah, please teach me.
You claimed knowledge and said you knew, so I was avoiding you. Now that you accept your lack of knowledge, I will teach you. The truth behind eating is that you eat lawful morsels. If you eat forbidden food, even with 100 good manners, it won't benefit. And it will only lead to the blackening of the heart. The heart must be pure, and you have to have good intentions before you talk. Your conversation must be to please Allah. If it is for any useless work, then however you express yourself, it will be a calamity for you. That is why silence and quietude would be best. The truth behind sleep is that your heart should be free from enmity, jealousy, and hate. Your heart should not be greedy for this world or its wealth, and remember Allah when going to sleep. Huh?
An action is only as good as the intention behind it. The same lessons that Bahlul teaches on eating, speaking and sleeping can be applied to all our daily activities, especially prayers. One may pray beautifully, but if Allah is not in our hearts, How much does that prayer really mean? In our prayers, we say Allahu Akbar, meaning God is the greatest. But in our hearts, if there is none but ourselves, is God really the greatest for us then?
Assalamu alaikum dear children and welcome to Super Sheikhs. I'm Big Sheikh Hassan.
And I'm Little Sheikh Hussein.
Thank you for sending this brilliant question.
Dear Super Sheikhs, I love Fatima to Zahra. Why don't we know where her grave is? I really want to visit her grave.
Little Sheikh Hassan, do you want to answer this one?
We don't know where her grave is because she died angry.
There were certain people which attacked the door of Imam Ali alayhi salam.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And after that, Lady Fatima Zahra unfortunately passed away.
Yeah.
And she was angry at certain people. And she also mentioned that she didn't want people to know where her grave is, except for very specific people like Imam Ali, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein, and different certain companions. What is companion?
Like friend?
Like a friend, yes, very close friend.
Follower.
Is a very close friend, companion, someone who's always with you. Like for example, you're always with me wherever I go. You're my companion. Well, so certain people knew where her grave is, and we have a lot of ahadith which are narrations. Narrations are sayings of Imams and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
And Sayyids and Sheikhs.
No, Imams and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Riwayah. They say that it's in her house, in between the minbar and the...
Do you know?
I forgot
It's between the minbar and the house of the Prophet, I believe.
Prophet, yeah.
Or was it the house of Imam Ali alayhi salam?
Prophet, yeah, Prophet.
Yeah, so it's between the minbar in Masjid Nabawi
Yeah,
and the house of the Prophet.
yeah.
So it's around the Baqi' area as well.
Yeah.
The Baqi' is the graveyard, the cemetery.
And in her house.
Well, yeah, we have a lot of different ahadith which say where it is, but we still don't know.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So, Lady Fatima Zahra chose and asked Imam Ali to bury her at night time without anyone seeing her but very close people.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we don't know where her grave is today.
yeah.
It doesn't mean that you can't say salam to her.
You can say salam to her in ziyarah.
Exactly, you can do ziyarah to anyone, right?
Yeah, and the strongest riwayah is she was buried in her house.
Some of them say it's in the house, and most of them actually say that she was buried in her house, but we still do not know.
Yeah, but that's the strongest one.
Yes, the strongest one.
That's why we have 3 nights.
We have one Imam who is still alive called?
Imam Mahdi Ajjallahu Ta'ala Faraj Sharif.
Yes, and he knows where she's buried.
And when he comes, he will tell us where it is.
Some of the scholars, some of the very knowledgeable people called scholars, lots of different scholars, say that Imam Mahdi Ajjallahu Ta'ala Farajah may tell us where she's buried, and some say no, he won't tell us where she's buried.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a difference of opinion in this.
Yeah.
Okay, so Imam Mahdi Ajjallahu Ta'ala Farajah, who is the living Imam, so the Imam of our time, unfortunately we cannot see him. We can also say salam to him though.
Yeah.
Like we can say salam to Lady Fatima alayhi salam.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what did we learn about?
We learnt about when Imam Mahdi comes, he will tell Imam Mahdi Ajjallahu Ta'ala Faraj Sharif, when he comes, he will tell us where it is.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We don't know. And what else? That we don't know where her grave is now.
Yeah.
Right?
And we do it for 3 nights, her death.
Yes. We have 3 commemorations because there are 3 different riwayat to the time of when she was buried or when she died.
Yeah.
Right?
She died angry.
At certain people.
And also Allah said, whoever makes Fatima Zahra angry, he is angry. Whoever pleases her,
He's pleased
Allah
with her.
is pleased.
Exactly. So, we've learned that Lady Fatima Zahra was buried at night. We don't know where, right? Imam Mahdi may tell us or maybe not, right?
Yeah.
And that she died angry at some people,
Yeah.
right? Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, do send them in. And مع السلامة.
Let's learn Quran. Suratul Kawthar.
باسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر. فصل لربك وانحر. فصل لربك وانحر. إن شانئك هو الأبتر. إن شانئك هو الأبتر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر. فصل لربك وانحر. إن شانئك هو الأبتر. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
On other news today, a convict has been prosecuted for stealing a calendar. The judge claims that he has been charged with 12 months. Firefighters at the local station were called out to a fun fair after it had closed. What on earth for? Who was there? And why were they calling the fire department? Well, caretaker Colin, the cabbage, was closing up for the night when he heard some scrunching, shuffling and heavy breathing noises. He reported he could see some smoke coming from one end of the fun fair where there were lots of trees. Being alone made him very scared of all these strange noises, and he wanted to make sure that the smoke wasn't because of a serious fire. In fact, it wasn't serious at all. It was just Lucy the Leaf and her leaf friends getting together to have a bonfire so that they could keep themselves warm. Colin did feel rather silly, but the fire department understood. He took all the necessary precautions to make sure that the park was safe. What a hero. Caretaker Colin, the cabbage, well done. A new species of fish has been found. Researchers claim that when the fish was drowned in water, it survived for several hours. Pontus Pillow, the professor, is looking into this at the University of Safeeries. He says, fishes might have found a new way to survive under the water through the process of evolution. Good luck to you, Professor Pontus the Pillow. On other news today, for decades we have been trying to figure out whether time traveling really does exist. It is said that time traveling takes place through something called dark holes. Scientists have now discovered a way to enter the dark holes. When we asked what they found, they replied, "I don't know. I can't really say." Wendy the Whisk was busy one evening whisking about from here to there and there to here when she saw Sally the slime sitting on her own in the corner of the room. Poor Sally, she looked lonely. Wendy the Whisk wanted to play with Sally the slime. But perhaps this wasn't such a good idea after all. Wendy tried to whisk Sally around, But you can imagine what happened. They got into a right mess as they both ended up tangled up together. Wendy the whisk had not realized that Sally the slime was so flexible that the last thing she expected was for them both to get stuck to one another. What a disaster. Luckily, Wendy's cousin was on hand to help out. It did take quite some time to untangle the two, so the next time you see some slime, better not get too close, you might just get stuck. At the comedy competition over the past week, many talented comedians turned up from all over the world, such as Robert the Rabbit, Wendy the Washing Machine, and Casper the Computer. Unfortunately, there was one comedian, Carlos the TV Controller. Let's just say the judges described his jokes as not even being remotely funny. Sophie the Sandgrain always felt like she was one in a million. That's probably because she is. She had millions of brothers and sisters, and so her parents were not able to give her much time. Even though her family was large, her birthday would often be forgotten because there were a million billion of other Sandgrains with the same birthday. Oh dear, poor Sophie. One evening, when Sophie was just lying on the beach, Pia the Pebble rolled over along to try to cheer her up. Pia knew how Sophie felt because just like her, Pia was one of million pebbles, whom her parents had no time for either. Together, they decided to run off into the sunset and leave the world of sand, stones, sea and sun all behind them. However, they didn't get very far. On their climb up the mountainside, they ran into their local coast guard who promptly escorted them back to their homes on the beach. Devastated and reaching out for each other, Sophie and Pia promised each other they would be reunited no matter how long it took for them to get together. Well, who would have thought a grain of sand and a pebble at the beach had such interesting lives? I bet the next time you go to the beach, you'll never look at a sand or pebbles the same way ever again. I know certainly I won't. On other news tonight, the person who invented knocking on the door was invited to Stockholm a few days ago to claim his Nobel Prize. A report has just come in of a raid on a house in the local borough of Brent. The house was alleged to have been housing a cheese grater who was on the run from the police for grating a tree up the wrong way. The tree had this to say: "Well, I was just standing there like I have been for the past 50 years, when all of a sudden I saw a cheese grater running towards me with a mask over it. I thought, what on heaven is that? Next thing I know, the cheese grater is trying to climb up on me because it was getting away from Mandy the mop, who happened to be furious because the grater had left cheese crumbs all over the kitchen floor back at home. Mandy the mop and Gary the cheese grater thought they could faffle around all over my head. They messed up my leaf cut and ran back into the house, where they were later found by the police." Gary the grater has a lot of explaining to do, especially in the light of the fact that he was out on parole for a similar incident last year when he broke into someone's back garden and started eating through their cabbage patch. He is rather a strange grater. After all, who likes to eat cabbage? Thanks for joining us today. Over to you, Muhammad Ali, back in the studio.
Salam. Okay. Should we make your lunch for tomorrow? Yeah! Come on. So let's make fruit pickings. Right, so what we need is bread, peanut butter, apples, and banana.
One thing, I ate some of the apples.
Oh, you always eat everything. Right, so this is the apples and bananas have already been sliced, so you might want to slice them at home. So the first thing we need to do is put the peanut butter on. You want to do that? Huh?
Yeah, okay.
Right, just get that and put it onto here. Spread it around. It's not such a big amount of bread, so it should be easy. Just move that out of the way. Ooh. Should I help you? Let me help you. Okay. You look bored still, Why do you look so bored? Why are you bored? You're not speaking.
Huh?
Alright, now we put... Which one do you want to put on first? Nope, not the bread.
I think the banana.
The apples? Right, let's put some apple slices on. 1, 2... wait, no, not like that, because then we have to close it. Put them close together so there's space. Yeah, that should be enough.
I'll do bananas.
Wait, not yet. Let me put the small slice on it. Put a banana there. Put one there. One there. And there. There. And one more there. Actually, just put one more. Right, now that's your lunch.
Eat it.
I know you fell out. So that's your lunch for tomorrow. Don't eat it now. Oh.
Bye.
Assalamu alaikum, Rafiq.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Raza.
Assalamu alaikum, children.
Salam, children.
Hey, look, they can clearly see you're upset, Rafiq. What's wrong?
I'm not upset. I'm just, little... Okay, I'm upset, alright? A lot of things going on in my life today, fasting and,
That's okay. Everyone's tired from fasting, though.
No, I'm not tired from fasting. I love fasting.
Oh, okay.
It's just that tonight I wanted to go and have rice and chicken, at Uncle's house.
That sounds tasty.
You ever had Uncle's rice and chicken? Oh my God, I swear to you.
I haven't, no.
Oh my God, it tastes amazing.
Well, let's go tonight.
I can't. That's the problem.
Why can't you?
The issue is this.
What is the issue?
This is the situation.
Tell me the situation.
I tell you?
Go on.
Okay, alright. Basically, I had a plan to go to Uncle's house to eat rice and chicken.
Nice.
And I was going to go later today.
Good.
But my mom, she told me that I got to go with her.
Go with her where?
I don't know. I got to go to some homeless people's home place,
But isn't that to do what?
Charity.
But isn't that a good thing, Rafiq?
Yeah, it's a good thing, but we want to go eat rice and chicken, We're waiting for a long time for this rice and chicken invite, long time. And the day I had planned to go eat the rice and chicken, my mother wants me to go and eat lentil and beans.
Yeah, but you could have lentil and beans one day, and then you can have rice and chicken on another day.
But I want it today.
Well,
I don't know what to do.
You seem to be in a pickle, Rafiq.
You got pickles?
Oh, maybe I shouldn't. You're fasting.
You got pickles?
No, I'm sorry.
I mean pickles. I love pickles.
I mean, you're in a sticky situation.
You got taffy on you as well now?
Oh no, okay, right. You have a problem.
I got a problem. That's right.
But I think I have a story.
You do?
A story, which sounds something like this. Would you like to hear?
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Okay, well, there was a man whose name was Imam Ali.
Oh, I know him.
Can we have a salawat?
All right, you got to follow my lead.
Okay.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Well,
take out my hair from my mouth.
Oh, sorry. It's not in your mouth. It's just under your mouth.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, Rafiq, you know about Imam Ali, don't you?
I know a lot. You teach me all the time, Mr. Raza. You're a very nice man.
Well, oh, your hair's stuck again. Let me put it just
get
behind.
a haircut, you know.
Well, you need a haircut. But what did we discuss last time, Rafiq, about Imam Ali?
Last time we discussed how generous he was.
How generous he was, exactly. Well, do you think Imam Ali was a rich man?
No, I don't know. I think he was all right. You know, it's all right.
He was common. Imam Ali lived a very simple lifestyle. So one day he went to his wife, Bibi Fatima, and he said, "Is there any food?" Bibi Fatima said, "There isn't any food."
Oh no.
And we haven't had food for 2 days.
No way.
So Imam Ali said, "Well, why didn't you tell me?" And Bibi Fatima said she didn't want to. She didn't want to say that they had no food.
All right.
So Imam Ali, he went all the way to the Prophet.
How far is the Prophet from him?
Very close.
All right.
He went to the
Why
Prophet.
you say all the way like he walked from Birmingham to London for?
I was just adding emphasis.
All right.
But he walked. Okay, fine. He walked some way to the Prophet.
All right.
And he said to the Prophet, "Could I borrow some money?" And the Prophet gave him a coin.
Oh, aye.
Coin to buy food. Now, Imam Ali has this coin and he's going to buy food. And he meets another guy on the street. Oh, yeah, Miqdad.
Miqdad.
And he says to Miqdad,
am I saying it right? Miqdad.
You are saying it exactly right. And Imam Ali says, "Salam." And Miqdad, he just continues walking.
That's rude of him to walk on.
Well, we would think it's food, but Imam Ali knew something was up. So he said to him, "Miqdad, what is up?" And guess what? Miqdad said he has no food either.
Oh.
So Imam Ali, he gave the one coin he had that he was going to buy food for himself and his family.
No.
He gave it away.
No.
Exactly.
So Imam Ali gave the coin he got for the Prophet to go buy food for himself. He gave it to somebody else.
Exactly. So like in your situation, you're giving up the chance to have chicken and rice for lentils and beans.
Alright, I understand. I'm following you.
You following me?
I'm following you.
Well, now I'm going to tell you why it's a good thing to give it up.
Go on, tell me.
So Imam Ali gave it up and he went to the mosque to pray with the Prophet. And he prayed with the Prophet, and guess what the Prophet asked Imam Ali after?
What's for dinner? What's for dinner, man?
In a way, yes. He said, "Can I come to your house? Can I have some food with you?"
Yeah.
But Imam Ali didn't want to disappoint the Prophet, so he said, "Yes, sure."
But Imam Ali gave the coin away.
Exactly, there was no food.
So what are you gonna eat?
So all the way to the house, when the Imam Ali and
all the way.
Okay, some way.
All right.
Some way to the house when Imam Ali and the Prophet were walking. Imam Ali was like, "What am I going to feed the Prophet?"
Oh my God, the sticky situation. Oh, toffee. Toffee.
I've got it in your head now. It's a problem. It's a problematic.
Problem. It's a big problem.
Big problem. Now Imam Ali thinking that the Prophet of Islam is coming to my house to eat and I have nothing to give him.
That's big.
He opens the door and he sees Bibi Fatima praying. But guess what? Guess what is behind Bibi Fatima? A big
a table.
And guess what's on the table?
A candle.
Maybe, but
guess... A tissue.
Probably
not.
A
plate.
Maybe. But a bowl full of food.
No.
Yes.
No.
Imam Ali was shocked.
Where did the food come from?
Where did the food come from? So he went to Bibi Fatima and he said, where did the food come from? Guess what Bibi Fatima said?
Asda.
No. Rafiq, there was no Asda back then.
Alright, me forgot.
You've forgotten. It was only Tesco.
You forgot. Alright. You make a joke.
I made a joke. But all jokes aside, there was nothing. He asked where the food came from, and Bibi Fatima said it came down from Allah.
Oh.
And that goes to show when you give something up, when you give something to someone else, when you're nice, Allah rewards you. Imam Ali gave away his coin, and Allah sent down food from heaven.
So you're telling me that because I gave away the opportunity to go to eat rice and chicken, I'm gonna eat lentil and beans, God, when I get home, will have rice and chicken waiting for my bed?
Maybe not, but God will give you something like that in the future. Maybe it's all in your plans. Maybe you're not going to have chicken and rice today, but tomorrow, when you go to Uncle's house, you're going to have even more chicken and rice.
I like that.
You like that?
Yeah,
Sometimes
like
you have to believe in the longer plan.
You know, you've done it again, haven't you?
What have I done?
You've done it again.
What have I done?
You've always fixed my problem with another story and makes me feel better, you know? You always do this.
Well, don't praise me. Praise the man in the story. Who is the man in the story again?
Imam Ali was the man in the story.
But you know why it's a little bit sad, Rafiq?
Why?
Well, in this month, that man, that generous man who gave his coin away and who Allah used to give food to, that man was killed this month in Ramadan.
No.
How does that make you feel, Rafiq?
Not good.
Not good. He was struck with poison whilst he was praying to Allah. Are you okay there?
I'm alright. I'm just got something in my eye, you know. Just
that's okay.
Clean my eye.
I'll clean your eye. You got tears, Rafiq.
No, I'm just sweating from my eyes.
Oh, you're just sweating from your eyes.
Yeah.
But Rafiq, it's fine to cry. It's fine to show your emotion for Imam Ali. But you have to decide, Rafiq, how are you going to spread the message of Imam Ali? Now, when Imam Ali died, he didn't die for nothing, did he?
No, not at all.
He had principles.
That's right.
He had morals.
That's right.
And what kind of things are you going to do to show people of the world that you have the morals that Imam Ali has?
I'm going to sacrifice my time to implement and make sure that I follow through with the message and work to spread the message effectively.
Exactly, and you're doing that by going to the homeless and helping them open their fast.
Alright.
Do you see?
I see. Oh yes, I see it.
You see it?
I'm going to go tonight, I'm going to help the homeless, and tomorrow I'm going to eat a chicken and rice.
Exactly. And you get the benefit of having giving the charity today and getting your own benefit tomorrow.
And me stacking the good deeds.
Stacking the good deeds.
Me stacking the good deeds.
Exactly.
The pot's overflowing.
The pot's overflowing, exactly.
Yeah man, flowing.
I can see all the good deeds coming out of you.
Flying out.
Coming out of that hat.
Oozing out.
Oozing out.
Exploding out.
Exploding out so much it damaged your hand.
Why you got to come to my hand for?
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Thank you, children, for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Raza.
Thank you, Rafiq.
It's alright.
Ma salam.
Oh, hello, and assalamu alaikum. I was just admiring my teeth after I brushed them. Teeth are really important. We should look after them and make sure we don't eat too many sweets and chocolates, even though we really love them. Actually, Florence in today's story loves chocolates and sweets. Florence the Fairy, written by Neil Griffiths. Florence was no ordinary fairy. For a start, she hated living at the bottom of the garden. Well, wouldn't you? It was damp and dark. What's more, bees often chased her, frogs leapt out of nowhere, and spiders sprang from dark corners to frighten her. So, Florence now shared a toadstool with a pixie friend of hers in a neighboring wood. But that's not all that made her unusual, as Florence hated doing almost anything fairy-like. To begin with, she never told fairy stories, as most fairies do, as she could never seem to remember them. She wouldn't leave 50 pence under a child's pillow who had lost a tooth, as teeth always made her feel completely queasy. She hadn't ever appeared in a pantomime as a godmother or turned a pumpkin into a stagecoach, as she suffered from stage fright. She also avoided carrying wands, as they usually got caught up in her hair. Neither did she scatter fairy dust, as she was allergic to the ghostly stuff and sneezed all day. And of course, she positively refused to sit at the top of the Christmas tree. It was most uncomfortable. She was scared of heights, and pine needles would get stuck in her pants for months. So, would you? In fact, Florence did very little at all. But she did have one fairy weakness. Fairy cakes! She adored them, don't you? Oh, plain, chocolate chip, iced, currant, cherry topped, quite frankly, any kind. But her favorite was chocolate, with chocolate icing and chocolate hundreds and thousands on the top. When she wasn't eating them, she was making them. And that didn't take long, as it was the one time her wand did get put to use. 2 waves and an instant plateful appeared, and Florence was in fairy cake heaven. There was, however, one problem. Florence was putting on weight, lots of it. Things had got so bad one day that, to her horror, she found she was unable to fly. She had a perfectly good set of wings, but they simply weren't strong enough to lift her, not even an inch off the floor. News of this reached the Queen of the Fairies, and Florence was summoned to the fairy palace. "Florence, this simply won't do," said the Queen. "No fairy of mine is going to be flightless. Why, you will ruin the reputation of the fairy kingdom." "I'm sorry, Your Majesty, but it's the fairy cakes," whimpered Florence. "I don't want to hear," grumbled Queen. "I'm sending you to a fairy fitness farm, and I expect results." Florence tried to protest, but the Queen's mind was made up. For the next few months, Florence pedaled and pushed, ran and rode, swam and steamed. She was kept to a strict diet of carrot and cabbage soup, lettuce of every kind imaginable, and bowls of fruit salad. She even attended daily aerobic and yoga lessons. Finally, Florence was past fairy fit and ready to nervously take her first flight. Bravely, she revved up her wings, then leapt into the air. It was as if she had never been grounded. In fact, she felt like a new fairy. She hovered, swooped, soared, and even managed a loop-de-loop. Quite impressive, don't you think? Suddenly, feeling amazingly light-winged, she decided to get her own back on the bees, frogs, and spiders at the bottom of the garden, and took her friend, the pixie, on a high-speed flight to remember. Florence was soon bursting with newly found confidence. She came first in a fairy fun flight, appeared alongside Egbert the elf as the Sugar Plum Fairy in the Nutcracker, Fairy Slimmer of the Year. However, as a now famous fairy, Florence hadn't changed much. She still lived happily in her woodland toadstool and firmly refused to do fairy-like things. But of course, one thing had changed. She no longer ate fairy cakes. Well, that's what she tells us, but I'm not sure if I believe her. Do you? I love cupcakes too, but I've just brushed my teeth, so I can't have any now. But I will definitely have one tomorrow. See you next time, inshallah. Ma salama.
مرحى يا شهر الإيمان، مرحى يا شهر الإيمان، هل هلالك يا رمضان، مرحى يا شهر الإيمان، مرحى يا شهر الإيمان، مرحى يا شهر الإيمان.